locked inside the Pixar vault is a movie so terrible that nobody has ever spoken of it. Oh, I'm sure it's not that bad. Heck, it could be The Incredibles 2. Fuck! Why, Pixar? Why would you do this to us? The wait for Incredibles 2 continues, unfortunately. Why would Pixar release a Cars 2 before Incredibles 2? So Cars 2 tells the story, as stupid as it is, set after the events of So Cars 2, directed by John Lasseter. I can't believe John Lasseter actually directed this crap. Tells the story, as stupid as it is, of Lightning McQueen. After the events of the first movie, he goes on a world tour, the International Grand Prix, up against a car voiced by Lewis Hamilton, but that's only the subplot. Can you believe the main focus and main character of the movie has shifted from McQueen to Mater? You heard right, and Holly Shiftwell and Finn McMissile, two British spies, for some reason mistake Mater for a spy who's just pretending to be an idiot, and recruit Mater to stop a devious plotter from a criminal car organisation. That's a rip-off of the James Bond villains, as this movie is basically James Bond with cars, and the movie just gets batshit crazy from then on. We all know Cars is Pixar's worst reviewed movie to date. Don't just take my word for it. That's a 39% on Rotten Tomatoes is complete evidence. And I absolutely agree. I'm not going to beat around the bush here. Cars 2 is awful. And that's coming from someone who liked the first Cars. And one of my subscribers, Angel I Loves Movies, if you're watching Angel, hi, he agrees with me that the first Cars is underrated. I look forward to hearing his opinion on Cars 2 if he agrees that it's shit like I do. But I accept, and not everyone's going to agree with me. I'm sure Cars 2 has a few fans and a few defenders out there, like one of my other subscribers, Alan Kalo. He loves it. Even though I disagree with him personally, that's cool that he does love it. I hate it. I would expect an animated movie this terrible to be from some other animation company like Sony Pictures. I would not expect this level of laziness from Pixar. But at least it made people like the first movie a little more. They were like, or maybe the first movie wasn't that bad. At least it was more watchable than this. But with all that said, I've still sat through worse animated movies in my life. I've seen the worst abominations. But the two saving graces of this movie are the detailed animation and the superb voice acting. But they alone are not enough to save it. The bad here greatly and definitely outweighs the good. I'm appalled Pixar thought this was a good enough follow-up after the masterpiece that was Toy Story 3, which was released the year before. So let's get straight to all the negatives as to why Cars 2 is a terrible, terrible sequel in a decent franchise. But this one is the only Cars movie I think that truly deserves the hate. This one just let the whole series down. You could skip Cars 2 in the Cars franchise and you wouldn't miss a thing. This movie you gain nothing from watching it. So, the number one glaring problem with this movie is how it completely ignores and forgets about Doc Hudson, who was the best character in the original movie. I know Paul Newman sadly dies before 3 years before Cars 2 was released, so they very respectfully didn't recast Doc, which was the right thing to do. But they could have at least, even if they didn't have him return, they could have at least mentioned him. They don't even do that. That's why I prefer Cars 3, because Cars 3 rectifies this problem. But because of Doc's complete absence in this movie, the heart that the original Cars has isn't here. Cars 2 is a Pixar movie with zero heart, zero great messages, and zero efforts. It is the toy commercial that people said the first Cars was. This movie just is screaming at you, cash grab, buy our toys, please. And it's Cars 2 where Mesa becomes the Jar Jar Binks of Pixar I feared and dreaded he would be. Making Mesa the main character was fucking stupid. He wrongly takes up all of the precious screen time that should have been dedicated to Lightning McFreaking-Queen, who is the central focus of the series, which this is why it's the worst in the series, because Lightning McQueen has no personality and goes through no journey in this movie, and the movie tries to make you feel sympathy for Mesa in the scenes, gets mad at Mesa for fucking up his... When McQueen gets mad at Mesa for being a dick and ruining McQueen's meetings with other cars. But the fact of the matter is, that's teaching kids a horrible message. That's teaching them to be rude, impolite, and insufferable to other people when their parents are trying to talk. When you ask your kids, oh, honey, could you please, let mum and dad talk and be civil. Oh, but mummy Mesa acted like this in Cars 2. That's exactly what they'll pick up from it, sir. I sympathise way more with McQueen in those scenes than Mesa. You just want to strangle Mesa here. The scenes with him here are the most insufferable scenes Pixar has ever done. Period. They are a chore to get through. All the Radiator Springs gang don't do shit, and the two spies, Finn McMissile and Holly Schiffwhale, I admit I did enjoy the voice performances from Emily Mortimer and Michael Caine, but I don't like the characters. They're complete idiots. They actually fall for the trick in the book that Mesa is a spy. They actually believe that. What the fuck were they drinking? Spies of their intelligence should be able to see through Mesa. They should know he ain't a spy. They only think he's a spy because the plot needs them to. And the racing is very disappointingly only half of the movie. It's the least focused on here, which is why I welcomed it back in Cars 3. But the car voiced by Lewis Hamilton, he basically has no character other than to just be McQueen's rival. Even Lewis Hamilton's voice acting performance couldn't make him interesting. And the villains in Cars 1 and 3 were fine. These villains are terrible. They're the worst Pixar villains I've ever seen. I remember nothing about them. They don't leave any impacts. They are just rip-offs of any James Bond criminal organisation you've seen before. Yeah, John Lasseter, we didn't pay to watch Cars to see a spy movie. We came to watch the racing. We don't give a shit about spy gadgets and all that bullshit. I mean, and not to mention, Cars 2 will bore the living shit out of you. Particularly in the middle. It's nearly 2 hours long. It's an hour and 45 minutes, but it could have easily been cut down to an hour and a half. The first movie got away with being 2 hours. This movie has no reason to be as long as it is. I was so bored watching it that I couldn't be bothered to pay attention. I just wanted to go off and play with my Cars toys. Vroom, vroom. Oh, still not over. Okay. This is way more fun than the movie. So does the movie at least do anything fun with the spy concept? No, it doesn't. It's not fun whatsoever. It drags and drags. I am not the target audience for this movie. It's strictly for kids. The jokes suck. The humour is way too juvenile for any adult to enjoy. But I actually know even some kids who hate Cars too, as much as everyone else. Michael Giacchino's score is up there with his Rogue One score as his blandest score yet. It's a step down from the wonderful score of the first Cars movie. Oh my god, I hate this movie. And sorry Pixar, but in 2011 DreamWorks beat you because Kung Fu Panda 2 is leap bounds better than Cars 2. That has a emotional story for Poe. A legitimately awesome villain and wasn't afraid to go dark. It's what Cars 2 should have been. No wonder this was the first Pixar movie to be snubbed of Best Animated Feature, because it did not deserve that Oscar. So Cars 2 is a piece of garbage. It is the worst movie Pixar has ever made, no contest. It's a stupid, poorly written, boring and annoying toy commercial that lacks all the charm of the first Cars. I give Cars 2 half a star out of 5. Man, what a awful sequel. Let's hope this stays Pixar's weakest film. Let's hope they never make anything worse. But on the bright side, at least they apologise for Cars 2 with the instant classic that was Brave. Well, I love you guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this rant. And what do you think of Cars 2? Please comment and let me know. Please like this video and subscribe. Please follow me on Twitter and on Google+. And I'll see you next time when I review Ratatouille. I'll see you then. Bye, guys.